Hi friends, this is my second time filming this video. I just filmed it a second ago, but the mic was not properly connected. I'm still trying to figure out this whole microphone thing, and yeah, so if this one doesn't go well, then I will probably just use the original and call it a day. Because you know what? Maybe it just wasn't meant to be. I hope you're all doing well. As I'm filming this, it's still October, so I was in like the Halloween spirit today, which is why I'm dressed as a cow. And I have never felt cuter, honestly. I tried to do cow makeup, whatever that means. Um, I basically just did like excessive blush. I don't even know if you can see it on camera anymore. I feel like blush leaves so quick. But I just did like cheek flush and I put it over my nose and everything. So I feel like a cutie patootie. And it's just kind of awkward because when I actually post this video, it obviously will not be spooky season anymore. So, yeah, that's just the reality of my life right now. I don't have any Halloween plans this year, as far as I know. So this is me just like celebrating with you guys and dressing up and, being fun. I don't think I've ever been something actually scary for Halloween. I feel like I'm usually something cutesy and comfortable. Like this costume is so comfortable. It's actually like a romper situation. There are shorts at the bottom, and I believe I got it from like a lingerie website or something. I think it was called like Leg Avenue. Um, and I was like, yeah, that's super cute. I need it. Anyways, today I'm going to be talking about my social media break that I've been on for the month of October. And I just want to do like a deep dive on why I decided to do the break and, changes and improvements that I saw throughout the break. Also, I need to apologize because this costume does have a cow bell. So if you hear my bell ringing throughout the video, if I move around, I deeply apologize. I hope it's not too annoying. But yeah, I can't help it. I'm a cow. Cows, they have bells sometimes, and those bells ring at times. Um, anyway, I really should have been a clown for Halloween this year because the way these men out here have been playing me, I feel like a clown. So maybe that'll be my second costume. But I did an outline for this video because there's so much that I want to get into and points that I want to make sure I don't miss. So yeah, let's go ahead and get into it. My problematic apps for social media were definitely TikTok and Instagram. So I actually have been off TikTok since September, like early September, and Instagram has been since early October. So it's been a minute. TikTok was it got to the point where I was so overstimulated. I was like, I gotta get off this app. And I was seeing things that I didn't want to see, and just having like all this information in my head constantly was way too much. So that's why I got rid of TikTok. And at that time, I didn't know I was going to also take a break from Instagram. It just kind of happened that way. I think I started supplementing having no TikTok with Instagram Reels. And I was like, well, this kind of defeats the purpose of not having TikTok. So I decided to also delete Instagram. So let's talk about why I decided to take a break, how I came to that conclusion. I think mostly I was just feeling so incredibly anxious, like anxious all the time, overstimulated all the time. I just had so much brain fog. It was insane. Like, I struggle with mental health as it is, like depression and anxiety, and I felt like my symptoms were so bad. And granted, I had just went through a little breakup thing, wasn't an official relationship, but I had ended things with somebody, so I was also like grieving, and there was just a bunch of stuff online that I just did not want to see at that time. It wasn't helping my healing process at all. Just felt so encompassed by this virtual world. I feel like I was putting a lot of value in external validation, which has never been me. And I was checking like numbers on videos, which again has never been me. Like, I create because I love it. I create because it's a passion of mine that I've had since I was little. And it's just something I've always done. And I don't know, I felt like I started doing it for the wrong reasons, and I wanted to take a step back and reevaluate, like, what do I actually want to create? Because not only that, I was in like such a creative rut because all I was doing all day is scrolling on social media. So there was nothing to film. I wasn't living my life properly and being present. So I feel like there was nothing to film, and I was just in a creative rut because of that. And I was like, you know what? I just have to take this break and, figure myself out, basically. So I want to talk about how I felt in the first week, because this was the biggest adjustment period, I would say. Again, I didn't go cold turkey on both apps right away. I only deleted TikTok first and then Instagram. So I was a little bit used to not having TikTok at this point, but there was a little bit of a withdrawal period, I would say. And I mostly just felt like I had a lot of time on my hands, which isn't a bad thing. But obviously when you're used to filling that time with like mind-numbing scrolling habits, then it becomes problematic, to say the least. And yeah, I just had a lot of time on my hands, so I picked up reading. That was like my main hobby that I did. I took a lot of naps. I feel like my brain was detoxing so bad from the dopamine that social media gives, and I just felt tired a lot of the time. So I took a lot of naps. I caught up on a lot of rest that I feel like I had sleep debt, honestly, and I didn't even realize it. So yeah, slept a lot. Napping was a huge hobby. I kind of missed that phase because it was just so good. Like, the naps were so good. I was just feeling so refreshed every day. I wrote myself a new gym split, a new eating plan. I just basically needed to do things that were good for me and like filling my time in healthy ways. I also picked up a new hobby around this time. I took a couple dance classes. I also roller skate about like 2 to 3 times a week. So that was a hobby I already had, but I needed like real life social interaction, because I feel like sometimes with social media we can supplement those real life interactions with being like online and not going out as much. So I just wanted to like be more present in real life and, talk to people. And yeah, so that was the first week pretty much. I would say after a few weeks, let's talk about how I felt after a few weeks of this detox. I became like super introspective, I would say, starting the second week. I just started asking myself, like, what are some things that, I've wanted to do that I haven't accomplished this year, things that I've been putting off, things that I've been procrastinating on. Like, let's really look into this and see what we can accomplish, especially before the end of 2024. I really just wanted to like dive deep, and I wanted to just focus on accomplishing things, building my dream life. Like, what are things that I've been putting off, pretty much. I had so much more brain space because social media is so overstimulating. There's so much information that you're taking in day to day on there, and I just felt like I had so much more brain space to not only just be creative, but, remember goals that I had set that I didn't actually go after or I didn't commit to at the time. And a few of those, like for example, I had health goals that I wanted to reach. So I'm on a second cut right now, which basically just includes nutrition and a workout plan. So I've been on that for almost a month, and I've had results, which is super exciting. Another thing I did was redid my bedroom. So I finally got a queen size mattress, which is so overdue. I had a full size, which I had outgrown, and I got my dream bed frame. This is the one from Soft Frame Designs. I've been wanting it for literally years. I feel like it was on my vision board maybe last year or something, but I finally invested in some of my dream bedroom furniture, and then I got new nightstands, new bedroom lighting, all the things. And I just wanted to make my room my sanctuary. I work from home, I'm here a lot, and I just wanted to make it my dream room. And I've lived alone for going on 5 years, and I feel like my place just had no aesthetic. So it's just something I'm working on in general. But yeah, my room was the place that I wanted to start. So I accomplished a lot in that area and just working on my environment and my surroundings. So that was really helpful and really exciting that I finally had the brain space to focus on those things. Again, I want to talk about sleep because something I started doing was reading before bed. Obviously, I wasn't looking at a screen, so my screen wasn't keeping me awake. And like, if you think about it, if you're shining a bright light in your face before you go to bed, you're probably not going to sleep that well. Also, a lot of the time on TikTok especially, I have pretty bad like health anxiety, and I would be on there and there would just be like some crazy story about something that happened to someone, and then I'm trying to sleep and I'm thinking about this story that I just read and I'm like, oh my god, like that is so scary, and like life is so unpredictable, and then I just start spiraling, and that stuff is just not, it's not good for me to see. It may not affect everybody like that, and I understand that, but for me, I can't do it. It just sparks my anxiety. So just not having that. And I've also been taking melatonin supplements before bed. So just working on my sleep quality has really helped. And my brain fog is pretty much gone. I credit that to sleep, because sleep is incredibly, incredibly important. Like no matter what your health goals are, no matter how much you want, you know, your life to improve in different ways, I feel like everything starts with sleep, truly. But also say going with sleep is like my energy levels were way more stable throughout the day. I didn't get so exhausted from doing nothing, because if you're on social media, you're not actually resting. Like your mind is bouncing all over the place. So you may feel exhausted even though you haven't done really anything all day. And like since I stopped scrolling, I just had so much more stable energy throughout the day, because I wasn't spending it like thinking about a video I just saw or whatever, and or something like sparked a thought process in my mind that I wouldn't have thought about otherwise. Like it's just a whole rabbit hole. So I would say definitely more stable energy throughout the day was a huge perk. So now that this whole detox is coming to a close, obviously I'm not at the end quite yet, but now that it's coming to a close, I want to talk about how I'm feeling now and my approach to social media moving forward. I can honestly say I've never felt more calm and centered within myself and knowing what I want and what I really want to give to the world. I feel so much mental clarity and just clarity in who I am as a person. I feel you can really just get lost in social media, even if it's like on a subconscious level. Like I didn't consciously think, oh, I'm comparing myself to these people in their lives, but you are, and it's just such a human thing to do, especially when you're just scrolling, looking at other people's lives all day. I feel so satisfied in my own life, and my life is nothing like extraordinary, you know, like I'm not traveling every week or month or whatever, and I don't live in a place with palm trees and stuff like that, you know, but I'm grateful for the small things that I have, like my morning cup of coffee, or just like having a roof over my head, getting my bedroom together and making it a safe space, and getting to hang out with my dog Cammy, who's back there. She wanted to be in this video. And I'm just so grateful for the small things. I'm grateful for my health. Like just having so much gratitude daily for my life and, you know, my meaning here, and not living through other people's lenses. You know what I mean? So I would say that was a thing. And also like just focusing on the things that I truly like and not focusing on trends, dressing, building my personal style and not basing it around what's trendy right now. Don't get me wrong, I love trends. I think they're fun and a lot of them are super cute and that's why they're trends. But there is an importance in finding like your uniqueness and like how you want to dress or how you want to do your hair or whatever it may be. There's a uniqueness in that, and I feel like I really got that back within myself, and that's a really good feeling. Also, you guys, one of the biggest things I had before was like FOMO with checking social media and going on people's stories and stuff. I now realize nothing bad will happen if I'm out of the loop for a few days or a week or a month. Nothing bad is going to happen. There is not that much exciting stuff happening on Instagram or TikTok that I need to see. It will always be there when you get back. It's not going anywhere, trust me. But the most important thing is taking care of your mental state. And I just used to think like, oh my God, I need to like check all my favorite creators' stories today. Like I need to go through every single story at the top of my feed, because if I don't, I'm going to be so out of the loop. I'm not going to know what's going on. I'm not going to know what I want to post about. And that's the thing is like scrolling doesn't help with creativity. It just like, I mean, you might see a trend and you might post about a trend and you know, that might get numbers, but it's not going to help you do anything original because you're filling your mind with what everybody else is doing. So even like from a creator standpoint, it's just not good. It's not good. So yeah, I would say definitely moving forward, I've put boundaries in place and tools as well to help. And one of my main tools that I have is the app Screen Zen. This is not sponsored, by the way. If they want to work with me, hey, because I absolutely love the app. It has been so incredibly helpful. Basically, it's a screen time app. I feel like the screen time built-in app on your phone, it doesn't do enough for me because you can bypass it so easily, but the actual app Screen Zen, it just makes you pause for a second. So when you open your social media app, it'll say, is this important? And you can click yes, unlock in 10 seconds, or you can click don't unlock in 10 seconds. And because it gives you that pause, you're like, oh, like you may not want to actually be scrolling. I think a lot of the times we're seeking comfort on our phones and we don't need to do that, basically. Like, this is a comfort device. It's something to numb your mind out, just like any other vice. Like, it's just a vice. And I think a lot of the times we need to just sit with our feelings. Like, okay, I'm feeling really anxious right now. Why am I feeling anxious? Maybe I need to do breath work, you know? Maybe I had a bad day today. Maybe somebody hurt my feelings and we just want to like escape into this screen. And I think once you realize, like, it's not necessarily a social media addiction, it's you're addicted to the comfort and the mind numbness of it all. So yeah, this is a drug, just like anything else. But yeah, Screen Zen is very helpful because it gives you that pause. It allows you to think about it. And sometimes, most of the time, I'm like, oh no, I don't even actually want to. So just saying, if you want to try Screen Zen, it's really good. You can set your own personal pause time. So if you only want to pause for 5 seconds before it opens the app, you can also set that up as well. It doesn't have to be 10 seconds. So for me, my apps are set for, I get 10 minutes 3 times a day. So I get 30 minutes on each app, which is honestly more than enough time to post what I need to post, maybe reply to some comments, and then get out of there. So it just stops that compulsive scrolling behavior that we don't need to do because it doesn't do anything good for our brains. So it just like interrupts that. And once your time limit is up, that pop-up comes back up. So love it. And it's also not easy to bypass. Like, you have to basically delete the whole app, delete your time limits and everything to bypass it. So it's kind of like, it works. I really like it. I think this whole experience has just taught me also to listen to my body more. And when I'm feeling anxious, looking at social media, just put it down. Like, it is that easy to just set this down. Sometimes it doesn't feel like it because you get trapped in it. But once you do and you just step back into reality, it feels so much better. So I think just like honoring my feelings more is something that I'll do moving forward versus like, oh, I need to post this amount of stories today. I need to make a post today, blah, blah, blah. If I'm feeling anxious and I don't want to open Instagram or TikTok that day, I'm not going to. So that's something that I'm also keeping in mind. And the last thing that I really want to drive home in this video is living your life authentically and creating content around that versus living your life to create content. Let me explain. So basically, you know, live your life authentically. So for me, like, I wake up, I go to the gym, I work my 9 to 5, and then I might have to do like something in my room, or I might cook dinner or whatever. So creating like a day in the life video around that, filming my workout, filming my morning routine, stuff like that, instead of like trying to do extra things just for content. Because it's just like, at the end of the day, it's like inauthentic, and it's, again, getting wrapped up in that virtual world and like, oh my gosh, what will people think of this? Like, is this cool enough to get engagement? Like, I just want to be authentically me on my platforms. If people don't like me, that's okay. but somebody out there is going to relate to my day-to-day life and they're going to want to see more. And same for you, same for anybody out there that wants to create content. There's somebody out there for everybody, literally. So yeah, just living my life for me and not for content, and not worried about like, can I make content out of this and can I get a picture here and blah blah blah. Like, none of the superficial stuff. I just want to leave that in the past and just create what my heart is telling me to create, you know? I think that's all the points that I wanted to make in this video. I hope that this was helpful, and the one point that I want you to take from this is just take care of you. Like, we have one life, we have our health, and you know, that's the most important thing. Oh, sorry, my phone started ringing. But we have one life, one mind, one body, and it's so important to take care of it and put yourself first. Always put yourself first. If you're somebody that loves creating content, you know, just create healthy boundaries around it. Use social media for your art, for your craft, and leave it at that. You don't have to dive into, you know, being addicted and, you know, having this superficialness around your social media usage, and you don't have to lose yourself in it. You can still be you, and like I said, there's so many creators out there. There's something for everybody. So that's what I want to leave this video on. I hope this was helpful and informative. Thank you guys for being here. If you do want to follow me on my social media platforms, I will have them linked below. No pressure. I just like to post, honestly, a little bit of everything. Used to be a fitness, wellness girly. Still am, don't get me wrong. But I will post a little bit of everything, a little bit of my life, a little bit of fitness, a little bit of wellness, just everything. So if you want to follow me there, those will be linked below. And again, thank you so much for being here. And I will see you guys in the next video. Bye, guys.